Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to 7 Days Later today with me, your man, Jason Wolf. Getting it started. I'm running on nothing but coffee and marijuana at this current point because I am pretty tired. Bryce J Vibes came and hung out this weekend again, and we watched the fights. We're going to talk about the future of the UFC, talk about UFC 257, Conor McGregor's comeback. And then we're also going to talk about the Super Bowl. So we got a couple segments for the average analyst, and then we're going to talk about some political stuff again. You know, we got to talk about Joe Exotic. Did he get pardoned? I know some of you are curious about that. So we're going to dig into that a little bit. And then, this was a pretty big story over the weekend. Troops in the parking garage. We're going to go through some sources and see if we can figure out why they were moved to the parking garage. I got a feeling it's going to be pretty tough to unearth the real story. And the point of this segment, this is going to be, it's time for the news, kind of. But who knows what we're going to find. So we're just going to go through the articles and see if we can find a source. And then Joe Biden, is he going to stack the Supreme Court? We're going to look at an article and then go back to something that he said in October of 2020. Do you feel reassured? Because I sure don't. 70,000 jobs killed with his first round of executive orders. We're going to dig into that a little bit. Is it true? Is that really what happened? We'll see. We'll dig into that a little bit. Take a look at some articles. Take a look at some videos, and we're going to go from there. Subscribe, like, follow. Please comment. If there's something that you guys want to know about, let me know. Let me know. We'll dig into it. We will really dig into it, especially if it's one of you who want to know about it. Because if it's one of the viewers that wants to know about something, comment below. Please comment, and we'll dig into what you're curious about. Let's get the show started.
Did you say that you will, as a flag down your right? I guess I shaped up alright tonight. And blood rushed through my skin. I said we'll do this again, at a time and a place you'd like. But my words fall short too hollow. Right at your feet I'll follow up. Make sure I'm set to get some. And you said, well, how's tomorrow? For movies, that's friends no more though. Last time I checked, you get none. You get none.
Welcome back to the show. 7 days later today with me, Jason Wolf, running on coffee, running on the marijuana, because it's now legal. It's now legal in my state, so I can do whatever I want. You want to judge me? Go ahead and judge me. I don't care, because call the cops on me. It's not going to matter. I'm going to be safe and sound in my safe space. That's right. I said it. I'm a conservative who smokes weed in a safe space. Get at me. All right, so first segment, we're gonna talk about the 70,000 jobs that Joe Biden killed with his first round of executive orders. We're gonna dig in this a little bit. You know, Joe Biden was a big union guy. He said he's all about the unions. He's gonna make sure that we bring manufacturing jobs back, good-paying union jobs. You know what else is part of that? The oil and energy company. Excuse me. The oil and energy industry. God, I'm gonna get better at this. So there's a lot of union jobs in the oil and gas industry. So Any union folks who voted for Joe Biden to be president, it's kind of like the lambs voting for the slaughterhouse, right? So we're going to talk about the National Association of Manufacturers, the CEO, on Joe Biden canceling the Keystone XL pipeline, and then we're going to talk about a few of the unions that ended up voting for Joe Biden. Here's our first video. Something's wrong here. Hello? Is that better? Okay, let's see how this goes.
Will replace this. Do you not agree?
Well, there may well be
hope
some
you guys can
jobs
hear that.
created in the future in the green energy space, but this represents an immediate loss of 10,000 union jobs. Pink slips will be going out, unfortunately, in the very near future. But here, I think here's the challenge, and you said it exactly correctly. This is a missed opportunity because this is not the project that President Biden was familiar with from 5 years ago. And in fact, it's changed fairly significantly.
He's talking about
So
Keystone
today,
XL pipeline.
the project would be completely powered by renewable energy. And that's the plan moving forward. So in addition to losing those 10,000 jobs that would be impacted immediately, we're also going to lose an incredible investment in renewable jobs and green jobs in the future. And so that's a little bit disappointing because this was a great opportunity to show how we can actually do this as we build that bridge, continue building that bridge to the future of energy.
Now, I think he talks about something that is very, very important. What he just mentioned there, and now I don't know if this is true, the Keystone XL pipeline, when it first came out, he was trying to say that because of the changes they've made with the basically the way they're doing business with the pipeline, is they're preparing for a sustainable future. And so this is something that I think is very important to talk about. You can't just change like that. You can't just change radically. Nothing ever good happens when you change radically. I think any open-minded person, unless you're in the oil and gas industry probably, you're willing to listen to sustainable efforts, but it's going to take generations. It is going to take generations to get to that point. So you have to have, if you have a chart here, and we're looking at the chart has to go like this. It has to be a slow rise towards the sustainable future. It cannot go like this, because all we're going to have is this. It has to be a nice steady pace. Nothing can happen radical, because if you try and do things radical, you're going to kill off jobs, and that's what we have over here. We're going to take a look at an article. that are radical. So just this is a tough time, and it's a tough time for everyone, especially folks who are getting laid off. It doesn't make any sense to be making those moves right now. I understand what they want to do, but I think the plan is to make everything sustainable by 2024. Okay. It's got to be generational. All right. Next. It's time for the news, kind of. Is the Supreme Court going to get stacked? Are we going to see a Supreme Court getting stacked? Now, Joe Biden, when he first was getting into office, he was talking about how I would like to know that. That's the kind of thing where it just seems sketchy, where they probably leak that to the press, and they want to know, just like they learned from Franklin D. Roosevelt trying to do it in the 30s. The public did not like it, so that's why they moved away from it. So I got a feeling you're going to hear Joe Biden talk about it, and then we'll talk about how I feel afterwards.
They'll know my opinion in court packing when the election is over. Now look, I know it's a great question, and I don't blame you for asking it. But you know, the moment I answer that question, the headline in every one of your papers will be about that. Other than focusing on what's happening now. The election has begun. There's never been a court appointment once an election's begun. But 4 million or so people have already voted. They're denying the American people the one shot they have under constitutional law to be able to have their input. And that is picking the person who can name who they want.
All right. Well, we got a disruption in that video. So basically what he said there is he's not going to let you know, because he wants to know the public's opinion first. That's what he's waiting on. I think he was also waiting on to see if they got the House and the Senate like they probably planned. And now it's probably a non-issue. It's probably a non-issue until it becomes a problem. I got a feeling they're going to try and pass some things, and then eventually the balance of power will come into play. The U.S. Supreme Court will come into play on some sort of bill or something that's going on between the Republicans and the Democrats, probably between the states. And then what we're going to find is if that decision goes badly for them, then we're going to start seeing court packing be an issue again. Then we're going to start seeing it. What he was doing in October when he was running, and what the Republicans are trying to amend, is to stop him from packing the courts with more Democrats. It makes a lot of sense in my mind that he was testing it in October when we originally heard about it to see what the public's opinion would be. And now it's probably a non-issue. But the Republicans are still going to try and stop it because, like I said, if anything goes into the Supreme Court between the Democrats and the Republicans, it becomes an issue again. Keep your eye out for that. All right. What's up next? What do we got up next? We got one more political thing. Last political thing, and then we're gonna have a little bit of fun in this episode. We're gonna touch on this quick. I really don't think this is a big deal, but this is just an example of the media, the mainstream media, making a big deal out of something with definitely an ulterior motive. A lot of you probably heard about it, where this weekend there was a bunch of soldiers that were pushed from the Capitol to the parking garage. Now, these soldiers were there for the inauguration of Joe Biden. They were brought in because they were so afraid that something was going to happen because of the riot on January 6th, even though that friggin' riot seems questionable in itself. I mean, have you guys seen the videos? Has anyone reported on that correctly and truthfully, where you feel like you have all the information? I certainly don't. This video wasn't around at that time, and we're not that big to go dig into this stuff, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to get you thinking about it. I think it's a stupid fucking thing for them to be talking about, but there's a reason that they're talking about it. So here we are. Over on CBS this morning. Not going to talk about a dangerous new COVID strain, but we are going to talk about lawmakers outraged after National Guard moved to parking garage.
Turning back to Washington, there was swift backlash last night over a plan to move some National Guard troops out of the Capitol. Lawmakers and others on social media expressed outrage after these images of the troops resting on the ground went viral. The Capitol Police had told many of them to move to a nearby parking garage. Well, that order was quickly rolled back, as senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge reports.
This was the moment National Guard troops left a parking garage heading back inside the Capitol, where only hours earlier they were asked to leave. The Capitol's hallways had served as a warm place of rest for the troops patrolling outside, protecting the building in the wake of the deadly riots 2 weeks ago. The Guard told CBS News the troops were asked to leave by Capitol Hill Police on Thursday afternoon, citing an increase in foot traffic with Congress in session. About 3,500 soldiers were moved from the rest area in the Capitol's hallways and relocated to the parking garage, which, according to the Guard, had heat and bathrooms, but some soldiers described a facility with limited restrooms, internet service, and power outlets. Lawmakers expressed outrage on social media, showing troops resting on the cement floors and columns. This is unconscionable and unsafe, tweeted Republican Senator Tim Scott, while Democratic Senator and retired Guard member Tammy Duckworth tweeted, "They can use my office." Just before midnight, service members were permitted back inside the Capitol to a designated area for their shift breaks. In the days leading up to Wednesday's inauguration, more than 25,000 National Guard members formed a protective ring around the city after
A protective ring. All right. A protective ring to make sure nothing happens. And then they're going to show the riots so that you understand this is necessary. And Trump supporters are dangerous. Trump supporters are dangerous, people. They're goddamn dangerous. I'm one of them. I go nuts for Trump. I fucking love him. And you know what? If you don't love him, I'm going to raid your fucking house and I'm going to take everything that you got. These people were crazy. Why were they being allowed in? It looked like they were being allowed in. Where was the security? They shouldn't have been allowed in. The people who died should have died, but there's questions to be had. So, I can't dig into that, but we're going to dig into the troops here. We're going to dig into the troops and try and figure out what's going on here. Why were the troops banished? Not that it's a big deal. They are National Guard, so they're not used to that tough of environments. So I understand the complaining. But what was the reason? I'm curious what the reason was for them being moved down. It's all a bunch of goddamn hoopla. And I'm not buying it. I'm going to sell it. I'm selling it, not buying it. But who are you buying for the Super Bowl? Who is going to win the Super Bowl? I am really excited for this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think that everyone, is kind of used to Tom Brady being in the Super Bowl, but he's with a different team, and that's what makes it so exciting. For those Tom Brady haters, what can you say now? That's what I want to know. What can you say now? Please comment. I would love to hear and talk about this more. What you guys now think of Brady. He's in the Super Bowl with a different team. I'm going to give you my prediction, but while we're talking about this a little bit, we're going to play the highlights from Week 12 when the Chiefs and the Buccaneers played. Okay? Now, this is a 10-minute video. That's loud as... Extremely loud. Alright, so you guys let me know down below. Comment down below. Who do you got? Who's winning the Super Bowl? Is it going to be the Bucs or the Chiefs? One thing I can definitely say about the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes didn't miss a step even after the concussion. They probably shot him up with some special juice where you just don't know where you are and you like black out. You know that scene from Old School where what's his name? Will Ferrell is up on the stand and he's talking about like some sort of physics and he blacks out and he just starts talking about stuff. They shot Patrick Mahomes up with that stuff. And he played lights out. He played really good. As he does. He plays clutch. So that's why this is going to be such a good game, because the GOAT, Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Both defenses look really good. I mean, they weren't going to allow it. Neither defense allowed any more than they needed to. They made big stops, and that's why they're going to the Super Bowl. My prediction was the Bills were going to go to the Super Bowl and then lose because of the Bills Mafia. That entire fan base is a curse. You can't have that much fun, okay, and go to the Super Bowl and win it. You're lucky enough to make it to the playoffs, in my opinion.
And that ball's incomplete. Great was in the area.
Man, Andy Reid is just such a good coach. It's such a good coaching matchup too. Andy Reid and what is his name? Arian. Can't think of his name now.
Play action with time. Another pass down the field. Kelsey's got a catch. Look at him fake a little pitch back. Here you got a 2nd and 10.
I mean, there's just so many weapons. The Chiefs definitely have what seems like more weapons. But the Buccaneers definitely have a lot of weapons too. That guy's just so dangerous. He'll probably be the difference again.
Tom actually might have an idea of what's
Probably be the difference again.
Gives him a little help to Reed. Fournette was the back, and that pass, 238 yards of offense in that first quarter, 203 of it pass plays to Hill. That's Kelsey. There are 2 receivers, Kelsey and Watkins, right in the air.
All right, so we're also going to take a look at the odds here. See what money's talking about. Prop bets. If anyone watched this show, I would have got fucking murdered for saying that. They're prop bets. All right. MVP prop bet. Player over unders, touchdowns. First scoring play. Will there be a score in the first 5 minutes? I think so. There's definitely going to be a score in the first 5 minutes. What do you guys think? Comment below. Will there be a safety during the game? I don't think so. Comment below. Will there be a defensive or special teams touchdown? Yes. Yes. Comment below. Will either team have 3 unanswered scores? Ooh, that's a tough one. Yes. Comment below. All right, the exotic props. National anthem. Most popular way to wager. The length. All right. You can bet on the length of the national anthem. That's funny. Coin toss. Halftime. Gatorade bath. That's a fun one. That's a fun one. Will the game announcers reference the Super Bowl point spread with commercial? What commercial will air first, Budweiser or Doritos? Ooh. That's a fun one. How many times will the quarterback's wife be shown on camera? Who will they think first? Team, family, fans, God. Those are fun. I might have to try and bet on one of those. Which one are you going to bet on? Comment below. All right. Should be a good Super Bowl. Looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that one. That's going to be a good one. You guys weren't even watching that. My bad. I was reading articles of the bets. All right. Next segment, future of the UFC. We're going to talk about the future of the UFC. I've got some predictions. For y'all. And I've only seen about one person talking about the same thing. We're going to read an article by them. But first, we're going to take a look at the fight, and what did you think? What did you guys think of the fight between Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier this weekend? What did you think of the other fight, Dan Hooker versus Michael Chandler? Oh my God, there's just so much to discuss, and I am really looking forward to what's about to play out in
laser sharp,
UFC.
landing some nice shots, but Poirier secured an early.
So, I'm not going to listen to that guy talk about it. We're just going to take a look at the highlights. I mean, Conor looked good in the first round. He looked really, really good. He looked like the masterpiece he was trying to create. But then in the second round, he went Jackson Pollock and just started throwing shit at the wall, and it didn't work. Oh. But he was throwing those at the beginning. That was fun to watch. And then Dustin Poirier tried doing it, and I wonder what they said back and forth when they were both doing it to each other. And then he just went off. He caught him, and you can hear if you watch it over, even before he starts going off, you could hear his corner say he's hurt. And he was hurt. He caught him, and that was it for Conor McGregor. But Conor McGregor is, even back then when they first met up, if he would have lost, he would have been humble. He is humble in defeat and humble in victory. I think he's a good role model to live by. Some people can call him savage. Some people can call him whatever he wants. But he gets the job done, like he said. You call Conor McGregor if you want to get the job done. And there's a reason for that. His mindset. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now in the future now that he has lost. Because what's going to happen? I have a feeling that if he came out and he looked absolutely phenomenal, that Khabib would come back. If he looked phenomenal, Khabib would come back and he would fight Conor McGregor. But The co-main event made this very interesting. The reason that it's gotten extremely interesting is because Dan Hooker lost to Michael Chandler. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was shocked. I did not know Michael Chandler was going to come in here and put on that performance. Was it just me, or did he look like fucking levels above Dan Hooker? Levels, absolutely. Dan Hooker looked frozen. He looked like the broomstick he was talking about at the press conference. He looked like he was doing the broomstick challenge, and he didn't know what to do. He looked like a deer in the headlights. I thought that was going to end up being a great fight, and he was going to win.